house, and for the sake of protecting your dynasty, protecting your kula, you should immediately ashu tyaja, immediately you should give him up. So after hearing this, Duryodhan became very angry, and in that angry mood, he chastised his uncle, who was senior to him, 30-40 years senior to him. But in the presence of his own father, he chastised his uncle. So Vidurji, without becoming disturbed, he left Hastinapur, and that is the point where we stopped yesterday, shloka number 16. Sa itham atyul bana karna banaihi bhratuhu puro marmasu taditopi swayam dhanur dwari nidhaya mayam gata vyatho ayad urumana yanah. So we will just see the few sentences from Tika for this sloka, Tika of Sridhar Swami. So yesterday we saw the meaning in English, but still some additional information. Atyul banaihi karna banavat pravishadbhihi. So this arrows made up of words entered into the ears of Vidurji. Parusha vakyaihi. Parusha means very harsh words. Parusha vakyaihi. Marmasu is hridayeshu taditopi gatavyatha. So he was not having any vyatha by hearing those words. So why there was no vyatha in his heart? Tatra hetuhu. The cause for not having any vyatha. Mayam uru. So in the sloka these two words are coming. Mayam, Bhagwan ki maya ko, uru bahu manayan. So Lord's maya energy or external energy is supreme or is very powerful. Understanding this, manayan, aho mayaya mahatmyam iti tam eva. So this is the greatness of external potency of the Lord. So this is the cause, tatra hetu manyamanaha, understanding Maya to be the cause, not Duryodhan to be the cause of his insult. So manyamanaha tan nissaranat purvam, before leaving Hastinapur, tat nissaranat purvam swayam eva, he personally swayam eva ayad means nirjagama. So he, before Kauravas or Duryodhan ordered any soldiers to drive him out, so he personally started leaving Nirjagama. Kim Krutva, after doing what he started leaving, Kim Krutva yete nunam marishanti. So all these Kauravas will die. Nunam means certainly. Yete means all these Kauravas will surely marishanti. Kim dhanusha iti. So what is the use of maintaining a bow with me to take revenge upon these Kauravas? So they will surely die because of their disrespect or bad deeds. So tasya dwari dhanur nidhaya. Therefore he kept the dhanu at the door. Or another reason, bhimadibhihi sangati asmad bhiho yotsyati. So he may join Bhima and party, Bhimadibhi or Pandavas, and then he will fight with us. Yotsyati iti ma shanki. Don't have any shanka, don't have any doubt that I will join the Pandavas and then I will attack you. So in order to remove that kind of doubt, so there is another reason, dhanuhu nidhanam. So another reason for keeping the bow at the doorstep of palace at Hastinapur. So now going ahead, today we will try to discuss from shloka number 17 to 35. So wherever long purports are there, I will read, and short purports I will ask one of you to read. Sanirgataha kaurava punya labdho गजाफयात् तीर्थपदः पदानि अन्वाक्रमत् पुण्यचिकीर्षयोर्व्याम् अन्वाक्रमत् पुण्यचिकीर्षयोर्व्याम् अधिष्ठितो यानि सहस्रमूर्तिः. So here Saha means Viduraha, Nirgataha, he was leaving. The adjective Visheshan for Saha Viduraha. So abhi nikle hue, Nirgataha, and another adjective Kaurava Punya Labdhaha. So that Visarga has become O. So Kauravas obtained him, or they Labdha, they obtained him by their great pious credits. Kaurava Punya Labdhaha Saha Viduraha Nirgataha. So from where he left? Gajafayat. So from Hastinapurat he left. And then what he did? Anvakramat. This is the verb. So he atikramyat. He started moving, or he started walking. Anvakramat. So where? Tirthapadaha Padani. Tirthapadaha is the name of Lord Vishnu or Lord Krishna. The lotus feet of the Lord, wherever the Lord's lotus feet are there, that place is Tirtha. So Tirthapadaha Padani, wherever Lord put his lotus feet, so he traveled to all those Padani, Kshetrani. So why he traveled in that way, or decided to do travel in that way? So here it is mentioned Punya Chikirshaya. So Chikirshaya means kuch karne ki ichha iti Chikirshaya. So he had a desire to accumulate punya, so therefore he decided to wander or visit holy places. So these holy places, where they are situated, Urvyam. So Urvi is the name of Prithvi. So Prithvi par hone wale Padani, and what is their adjective? What is the adjective for Padani or Kshetrani? Yani Sahasra Murtihi Adhishtitaha. Where Lord's thousands of forms, Sahasra Murtihi Adhishtitaha. Adhishtita means Samyak Adhishtitaha. So many forms of the Supreme Lord, where they are situated. So all those Kshetrani or Padani started wandering, or Anvakramat. So before going to Prabhupada's translation, we will also see some part from the Tika. Tato nirgatasya tirthatana prakaram aha. तो उसके बाद ततः thereafter nirgatasya निकले हुए तीर्थाटन प्रकारम आह. So in what way he started doing tirthatan? Saha iti ashtabhi. So 8 slokas starting from the 17th will describe. So where all he traveled. Saha Gajafayat Hastinapurat Nirgataha san. San means being departed from. Nirgataha san Tirthapado Yasya Tasya. So this is the meaning for Tirthapadaha. Tirtham Pado Yasya Tasya Harehe. So जिनके लोटस फीट ही तीर्थ है, तो ऐसे हरि के हरे है पदानी, मीनिंग फॉर पदानी क्षेत्राणि. पुण्य चिकीर्षया अन्वाक्रमत. अन्वाक्रमत मीनिंग ऑफ दिस वर्ड इज प्रत्यपद्यत. So he started walking or moving around in holy places. And Kaurava Punya Labdha meaning for this is given ahead. Kauravanam Punyela Labdha iti. So Kauravas achieved him after great pious credits. Tesham bhagyam eva tena rupena gataha. So their fortune left them in the form of Vidurji. So Tesham bhagyam eva tena rupena gataha iti suchitam. Urvyam sahasra murtihi. So सो पृथ्वी पर होने वाली सहस्र मूर्ति ब्रह्म रुद्र आदि अनेक मूर्ति संस्तीर्थपात यानी यानी अधिष्ठाय स्थितः. So wherever Lord's various forms, Vishnu forms or even the demigods like Brahmaji and Shivji. So now we'll come back to Prabhupada's translation. By his piety, Vidur achieved the advantages of the pious Kauravas. After leaving Hastinapur, he took shelter of many places of pilgrimage, which are the Lord's lotus feet, Tirtha Padha Padani. With a desire to gain a high order of pious life, Punya Chikirshaya, he travelled to holy places where thousands of transcendental forms of the Lord are situated. Vidur was undoubtedly a highly elevated and pious soul, otherwise he would not have taken his birth in a Kaurav family. To have high parentage, to possess wealth, to be highly learned, and to have great personal beauty are all due to past pious acts. But such pious possessions are not sufficient for obtaining the grace of the Lord and being engaged in his transcendental loving service. Vidur considered himself less pious, and therefore he decided to travel to all the great places of pilgrimage in the world in order to achieve greater piety and advance nearer to the Lord. At that time, Lord Krishna was personally present in the world, and Vidur could have at once approached him directly. But he did not do so because he was not sufficiently freed from sin. One cannot be 100% devoted to the Lord unless and until he is completely free from all effects of sin. Vidur was conscious that by the association of the diplomatic Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan, he had lost his piety and was therefore not fit to associate at once with the Lord. So this is what was going on in Vidura's heart. In no other tika it is there. So Prabhupada has commented. Only Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur mentions why Vidur did not go to meet Krishna directly. Why he travelled to so many holy places. And after Krishna left, then he met Uddhav. So it must be 25 to 30 years. So this incident of insult of Vidur happened before war. After war, then 32 years. And after that, news of Yadu dynasty getting annihilated. So that incident happened. So till that time, there is no mention of one incident wherein Vidurji met Lord Krishna. So why he did not meet? 25 years में एक भी बार मिल सकते थे ना. Why he did not meet? So here Prabhupada's insight. He considered himself sinful because of association of Dhritarashtra and Duryodhan. In the Bhagavad Gita, this is confirmed in the following verse. Yesham tvantagatam papam jananam punya karmanam te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dhrida. Persons who are sinful, asuras like Kamsa and Jarasandha, cannot think of Lord Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the absolute truth. So they thought of Krishna but in wrong way. So here, as a Supreme Personality of Godhead, they couldn't think. Only those who are pure devotees, those who follow the regulative principles of religious life as prescribed in the scriptures, are able to engage themselves in Karma Yoga and then Jnana Yoga, and thereafter by pure meditation they can understand pure consciousness. So in Gita also this sloka comes, Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat, jnanat dhyanam vishishyate, dhyanat karma phalatyaga, tyagas shantir anantaram. 12.13 or something, 12.11 or 12. So better than just following rules and regulations. Shreyo hi jnanam abhyasat. Abhyas means just practice of rules and regulation. Gyan is better. And then jnanat dhyanam, and dhyanat sarva karma phalatyaga, and tyagat shantir anantaram. When God consciousness is developed, one can take advantage of the association of pure devotees. Syat mahat sevaya vipraha punya tirtha nishevanat. One is able to associate with the Lord even during the existence of this life. Places of pilgrimage, now next point, Prabhupada mentions about this Tirtha Padah Padani. Places of pilgrimage are meant for eradicating the sins of the pilgrims, and they are distributed all over the universe just to give facility to all concerned for attaining pure existence and God realization. One should not be satisfied, however, merely by visiting the places of pilgrimage and performing one's prescribed duties. He should be eager to meet the great souls who are already there, engaged in the service of the Lord. In each and every place of pilgrimage, the Lord is present in His various transcendental forms. So, Sahasra Murtihi Swadhisthitah. These forms are called Archa Murtis, or forms of the Lord, which can be easily appreciated by a common man. The Lord is transcendental to our mundane senses. He cannot be seen with our present eyes, nor can He be heard with our present ears. To the degree that we have entered into the service of the Lord, or in proportion to how much our lives are freed from sins, we can perceive the Lord. But even though we are not free from sins, the Lord is kind enough to allow us the facility of seeing Him in His Archamurti in the temple. The Lord is all powerful, and therefore He is able to accept our service by presentation of His Archa form. No one therefore should foolishly think the Archa in the temple to be an idol. Such an Archamurti is not an idol, but the Lord Himself. And in proportion to how much one is free from sins, he is able to know the significance of the Archamurti. The guidance of a pure devotee is therefore always required. In the land of Bharatvarsha, there are many hundreds and thousands of places of pilgrimage distributed all over the country, and by traditional practice, the common man visits such holy places during all seasons of the year. Some of the Archa representations of the Lord situated in different places of pilgrimage are mentioned herewith. The Lord is present at Mathura, the birthplace of Lord Krishna, as Adi Keshav. The Lord is present at Puri as the Lord Jagannath, also known as Purushottam. He is present at Allahabad, Prayag, as Bindu Madhav. At Mandara Hill, he is present as Madhusudan. In the Ananda Aranya, he is known as Vasudev, Padmanabh and Janardhan. At Vishnu Kanchi, he is known as Vishnu, and at Mayapur, he is known as Hari. There are millions and billions of such Archa forms of the Lord distributed all over the universe. All these Archa Murtis are summarized in the Chaitanya Charitamrita in the following words. Sarvatra prakashatara bhakti sukhadite jagatera adharma nashi dharma sthapite. The Lord has so distributed Himself all over the universe just to give pleasure to the devotees. Bhakti sukhadite, to give the common man facility to eradicate his sins and to establish religious principles in the world. Next. So in which all places he traveled is mentioned in the previous verse, but some elaboration. Pureshu punyopavanadri kunjeshu Pureshu punyopavanadri kunjeshu Apankato yeshu saritsarasu Anantalingahe samalankriteshu Chachara tirthayataneshvananyaha. So here the word ananyaha, akelehi, na anya iti ananyaha. Previously other words came, kaurava punya labdha, nirgataha, saha. So same vibhakti word is ananya, akeli hi. So short sentence is saha ananya tirtha yataneshu chachara. Last sentence is the short sentence. Ananya tirtha yaneshu chachara. Akeli hi. So tirtha yaneshu tirthasthaneshu chachara. He visited. So now all other words are adjective for tirtha, tirtha yataneshu, tirthasthaneshu. So which all tirthasthaneshu? Pureshu, so different pur or cities. Punya upavana adri kunjeshu. So very pious upavan or adri, just like Niladri or Sheshadri. So various mountains. Kunjeshu. So Kunja Bihari. Kunjeshu, various kunjas. And Apanka Toyeshu. Panka means mud. And Apanka means no mud. So pure or very crystal clear. Toyeshu. Sarit Sarasu. Sarit means river. And Sarasu means talab. Pushkar. Akrurji went to Pushkar also. Sarit Sarasu Apanka Toyeshu. So all these rivers and lakes were filled with crystal clear water. And Ananta Lingaihi Samalankriteshu. So all the holy places were decorated with Samalankriteshu. By what? Instrumental case Tritiya Bahochan. Ananta Lingaihi. Various forms of the Lord. So with these forms, these places were decorated. To such ananta yatirtha yataneshu vidurha chachara. So here also some curiosity for Tika. So sloka number 18. Punyani yani upavanadini teshu kunja latadi gudhasthanam. So in the sloka this word has come. Punyopavanadi kunjeshu. So latadi gudhasthanam apankani toyani yesham teshu sarit sarasucha tirtheshu ayataneshu. To ayataneshu kshetreshu tirtha kshetreshu kidrisheshu. So what kind of holy places? Anantasya lingaihi means murtibhihi samalankriteshu. So all those holy places were decorated by the various forms or murtis of the Lord. Ananya Ekaki. So Prabhupada's translation. He began to travel alone. Ananya Chachara. Thinking only of Krishna. This is Prabhupada's addition. Sloka is not directly mentioning. Through various holy places like Ayodhya, Dwarka, Mathura, he travelled where the air, hill, orchard, upavan, river and lake are all pure and sinless, and where the forms of the unlimited Anantalingaihi, unlimited decorate the temples. Thus he performed the pilgrim's progress. Okay, someone can read the purport. Ram Jagannath Prabhu.
These archer forms of the Lord may be considered idols by the atheists, but that does not matter for persons like Vidura or his many other servants. The forms of the Lord are mentioned here as Anantalinga. Such forms of the Lord have unlimited potency, the same as that of the Lord himself. There is no difference between the potencies of the archa and those of the personal forms of the Lord. The example of the post box and the post office may be applied here. The little post boxes distributed all over the city have the same potency as the postal system in general. The duty of the post office is to carry letters from one place to another. If one puts letter in the post boxes authorized by the general post office, the function of carrying letters is performed without a doubt. Similarly, the Arch Murti can also deliver the same unlimited potency of the Lord as when he is personally present. The Vidura therefore could see nothing but Krishna in the different Archa forms, and ultimately he was able to realize Krishna alone and nothing else.
So this famous example is repeated here, post box. Another example is of check, without signature its value and with signature. Another example, mantra, all the alphabets, varnas are same, but authorized by the Lord, therefore mantra has special potency. So similarly, after performing installation, DT installation, pran pratishtha, then no one or person who carved the DT, he doesn't dare to do any changes. He knows the potency has changed now. Oh, right. Currency note. 200 rupee or 1000 rupee note. Yes. So further details for his visit to holy places. Gam paryatan medhya vivikta vrittihi sada plutodha shayano vadhutah alakshitah svair avadhuta vesho vratani chere haritoshanani. So here also small sentence, सह विदुरः, और उसके लिए बहुत सारे विशेषण हैं. So small sentence is haritoshanani vratani chere. Chere is the verb, action. He performed various vratas or austerities for the intention of pleasing Lord Hari. So what are the adjectives for Asaha Viduraha? First is Gam Paryatan. Gam means Prithvi. Previously the word came Vurvyam, but now Gam Paryatan. While wandering on the earth, or surface of the earth, his situation is Medhya Vivikta Vrittihi. Medhya and Amedhya. In Gita also, food of three kinds. Amedhya, which is uneatable, tamogun. So Medhya means pure, and Vivikta. Vivikta means simple, and Vrittihi. So he adopted a lifestyle, simple lifestyle, or eating simple food by begging. So instead of directly saying begging, Medhya Vivikta Vrittihi. One by one. Next is Sada Plutaha. So he always took bath. Apluta means Nataha. Then next is Adha Shayanaha. He always slept on the ground. Adha Shayanaha. Then Avadhutaha. So Avadhuta means he asanskrita deha. His form was not very cultured looking or very neatly looking. Avadhutaha. Then Swaihi alakshitaha. Swayam ke रिश्तेदारों द्वारा अलक्षित, unrecognized by his own members or family members or people who knew him. Swaihi alakshitaha. Then Avadhuta veshaha. His dress was like that of Avadhuta. Here there is little contradiction. He was very pure in his eating, but at the same time Avadhuta. So this is only when we can see such a person, then we can understand both the things can simultaneously exist. Right now, from intellectual point of view, it is mismatch. But when we see such a person, then only we can realize it is possible. So coming back to this tika, Kimcha means moreover, Gam Paryatan, while wandering on the surface of the earth, Vratani Chere. The meaning of the word Chere in simple Sanskrit is Acharat. Medhya Pavitra. Vivikta Asankirna Vrittihi. Not very difficult is Asankirna Vrittihi Jivikaha. Yasya. जिसकी जीविका बहुत सिंपल या संकीर्ण थी. सदा प्लुतः प्रतितीर्थम स्नातः. Here the adhashayanam, he slept on the ground. Yasya avadhutah asanskrita deha, not very cultured look. Avadhuta veshah valkaladi dhari, so he wore valkal ityadi. Ataivah swaihi alakshitah. So all those people who knew him to be the minister in Hastinapur, so he was very famous, 80 years, or his age must be 100 years that time. 80, 90 years as active service as a minister. How much famous he must have been at that time. But while wandering, nobody recognized him. So what kind of mental stability is required? When we, or if such circumstance come in our life, the ordinary person will not be able to live. He will commit suicide. But Vidura did not do something like that. Here Prabhupada's translation. While so traversing the earth, Gam Paryatan, he simply performed duties to please the Supreme Lord Hari. Haritoshanani Vratani Chere. His occupation was pure and independent. Medhya Vivikta Vrittihi. He was constantly sanctified by taking his bath in holy places. Although he was in the dress of a mendicant and had no hair dressing, nor a bed on which to lie, thus he was always unseen by his various relatives. Okay, next sloka, purport is not. Itham vrajan bharatameva varsham kalena yavat gatavan prabhasam tavat shashasa kshitimeka chakram tavat shashasa kshitimekam kshitimeka chakram ekat patram ajitena parthah. So itham vrajan, इस प्रकार भ्रमण करते हुए. So where he was doing भ्रमण, Bharatam Varsham, so in country or Bharat Varsh, and Kalena, in due course, Prabhasam Yavat Gatavan, जब तक वो प्रभास क्षेत्र में पहुंचे. So many years it must have taken to wander various places. 20 years, more than 20 years, mera judgment. You can study Mahabharata more detailed and can verify the figure. So by the time he reached Prabhasam, Tavat, till that time, Partha Shashasa. Here Partha, Yudhishthira Shashasa. Yudhishthir शासन कर रहे थे. कहाँ पर शासन कर रहे थे? एंड किसके द्वारा उनको शासन करने का वो अधिकार प्राप्त हुआ? सो अजितेन सहायेन पार्थ क्षितिम, पृथ्वी पर, तो उर्व्याम गाम एंड क्षितिम, पृथ्वी पर एक चक्राम, सो एम्परर, सम्राट के रूप में, एक आतपत्रम, एक ही आतपत्र, एक ही छत्री, छत्रपति, एक ही अम्ब्रेला के नीचे पूरी पृथ्वी थी. तो तब तक तो विदुर जी प्रभास क्षेत्र में पहुंचने तक अकेले पृथ्वी महाराज, युधिष्ठिर महाराज पृथ्वी पर राज्य कर रहे थे. सो हियर गोइंग टू टीका, श्लोक नंबर 20. एकस्य एव चक्रम सैन्यम यस्याम, तो एक ही सम्राट का जो सैन्य है वही अन्य राजाओं को कंट्रोल कर रहा था. एकम एव राज चिन्हम, एक ही राज चिन्ह, एक ही, हर कंट्री का भी अलग अलग लोगो है, तो उस टाइम वैसा नहीं था. अब एक ही राज मुद्रा, राज चिन्हम. श्वेत आतपत्रम, एक ही सफेद कलर की छतरी, श्वेत आतपत्रम. यस्याम ताम अजितेन श्री कृष्णेन सहायेन, भगवान श्री कृष्ण की सहायता से युधिष्ठिर अकेले ही सम्राट होकर पृथ्वी पर राज्य कर रहे थे. Thus, when he was in the land of Bharatvarsha, traveling to all the places of pilgrimage, he visited Prabhasa Kshetra. At that time, Maharaj Yudhishthir was the emperor and held the world under one military strength and one flag. So, who can read?
More than 5,000 years ago, while Saint Vidura was traveling the earth as a pilgrim, India was known as Bharatvarsha, as it is known even today. The history of the world cannot give any systematic account for more than 3,000 years into the past. But before that, the whole world was under the flag and military strength of Maharaj Yudhishthir, who was the emperor of the world. At present, there are hundreds and thousands of flags flapping in the United Nations. But during the time of Vidura, there was, by the grace of Ajita, Lord Krishna, only one flag. The nations of the world are very eager to again have one state under one flag. But for this, they must seek the favor of Lord Krishna, who alone can help us become one worldwide nation.
So Ajitena, Prabhupada is taking that word and explaining in the last few sentences. Tatratha shushrava suhruda vinashtim vanam yatha venujavahni samshrayam samspardhaya dagdham athanushocan sarasvatim pratyagiyayatushnim. तो अथ मीन्स प्रभास क्षेत्र पहुंचने के बाद, इस श्लोक में 2 बार अथ है, तीसरी लाइन में भी है दग्धम अथ अनुशोचन, और पहली लाइन में तत्र अथ शुश्राव. सो ही हर्ड आफ्टर रीचिंग प्रभास क्षेत्र, दैट इज अथ, ही हर्ड, व्हाट ही हर्ड, सुहृद विनष्टिम, स्वयं के वेल विशर्स की विनष्टिम, annihilation of his own family members. And yatha, example is given, yatha venuja, like udbija, andaja, jaraja, venuja, venu means bamboo, bamboo से जन्मा हुआ, क्या है, वहनी, अग्नि, संश्रयम, तो 2 बाम्बू जैसे रगड़ जाते हैं, फ्रिक्शन होता है, and then fire is generated, and because of that fire, samshrayam dagdham. So all this is visheshan for suhrud vinashtim. So samshrayam vanam, जिस वन ने आश्रय लिया है ऐसे अग्नि का, it becomes completely burnt, dagdham. तो तथा, the word तथा should be understood. Yesterday मित्र कृष्ण प्रभु was asking, जो तदा वर्ड है 16 में कहाँ नहीं दिख, उधर नहीं दिख रहा है. So it is not explicitly mentioned, but we should read in between the lines. So by intuition it is understood that it is there. So samspardhaya, आपस में ही स्पर्धा हो गई. तो ये स्पर्धा दोनों जगह हो गई. In Hastinapur also, Kauravas and Pandavas, and in Dwarka also, आपस में ही लड़ गए वो. So this Surhud Vinashtim, whether it exactly refers to Kaurav dynasty getting annihilated or Yadu dynasty getting annihilated is not clear. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also mentions, some say Surhud Vinashtim is Yadu dynasty nast ho gayi, but others say no, Kauravas got annihilated, Surhud Vinashtim. So आपस में स्पर्धा, संस्पर्धया तथा. So ath, after hearing this news, after reaching he heard, and after hearing that news, then again ath अनुशोचन, बहुत शोक करने लगे. और फिर उन्होंने क्या किया, तूष्णिम, तूष्णिम मीन्स चुप हो गए. गीता में भी ये शब्द आया है 2.9, एवं भुक्त्वा ऋषिकेश गुडाकेशेन परंतप न योत्सेति गोविंदम उक्त्वा तूष्णिम बभूव. So I will not fight, O Govinda. And Arjuna became silent. So here Tushnim, Anushochan, Tushnim चुप हो गए and ईया गए कहाँ? प्रत्यक सरस्वतीम. तो प्रत्यक मीन्स पश्चिम दिशा की तरफ बहने वाली सरस्वती के तट पर वो गए. So here now टीका से तत्र प्रभासे परस्पर स्पर्धया निमित्त भूतया. तो आपस में जो झगड़ा हुआ, फैमिली फाइट, सुहृदाम कौरवाणाम विनष्टिम. So Sridhar Swami mentions Suhrud means Kauravanam Vinashtim Vinasham Ashrunot. So he heard. Paraspara Nashe Drushtanta. तो आपस में लड़कर कैसे नष्ट हो गए इसके लिए दृष्टांत दिया है. वेनुजम वह्नि संश्रयते यद वनम तद यथा दग्धम भवति तथा वही रोकना चाहिए. तो जिस प्रकार वन में अग्नि लग जाता है बांबू के रगड़ने से, so similarly, and then pratyag udgama abhimukham. तो सरस्वती का उगम कहाँ होता है? बद्रीनाथ में होता है. और बद्रीनाथ से बहती हुई वो गुजरात, राजस्थान होते हुए गुजरात में आती है और उधर समुद्र को मिलती है. सो प्रभास क्षेत्र इज नियर सोमनाथ. हम गए थे एक यात्रा में उधर. दैट स्पॉट इज देयर वेयर लॉर्ड disappeared from this world. So from there, कच्छ की तरफ थोड़ा सा ऊपर और हाँ वो उधर आती हुई है इधर. I tried to search on the internet. So the path is shown like that. So प्रयाग में भी आती है. So that may be another tributary of Saraswati. Now it is, some say it is under. एक राजस्थान की तरफ आ गई और इधर एक उत्तर प्रदेश की तरफ गई. So if we consider only that branch going towards Prayagraj, then it becomes east की तरफ बहने वाली. लेकिन इधर एज्यूम कर दे तो वेस्ट की तरफ बहने वाली. हाँ आ सकते हैं. तो जो मैप इंटरनेट, हाँ so need to be researched. Cannot comment it more. So Prabhupada's translation for this sloka 21. At the place of pilgrimage at Prabhas, it came to his knowledge that all his relatives had died due to violent passion, just as an entire forest burns due to fire produced by the friction of bamboos. After this, he proceeded to where the river Saraswati flows west. Okay. So I'll read the. Both the Kauravas and Yadavas were relatives of Vidur, and Vidur heard of their extinction due to fratricidal war. The comparison of the friction of forest bamboos to that of passionate human societies is appropriate. The whole world is compared to a forest. At any moment there may be a flare-up of fire in the forest due to friction. No one goes to the forest to set it on fire, but due only to friction between bamboos, fire takes place and burns the entire forest. Similarly, in the greater forest of worldly transaction, the fire of war takes place because of the violent passion of the conditioned souls, illusioned by the external energy. So now also there are many wars going on between different countries, especially South Korea, North Korea. Both Ghamasan settle as well as gross. Such a worldly fire can be extinguished only by the water of the mercy cloud of saints, just as a forest fire can be extinguished only by rains falling from a cloud. So one more sloka I will take and then 5 minutes break. Tasyam त्रितस्योशनसो मनोश्च तस्यां त्रितस्योशनसो मनोश्च पृथोरथाग्नेरसितस्य वायुः तीर्थं सुदासस्य गवां गुहस्य यत् श्राद्धदेवस्य स आशिषेवे। तो तस्याम मीन्स सरस्वत्याम, सरस्वती के तट पर या on the banks of river Saraswati. So 11 holy places are mentioned in this sloka. The first is Tritasya. So related to Trita, some person, or Ushanas. So here Shukracharya ko Kavi Naam Ushana Kavi. In Bhagavad Gita also it comes. So Ushanasya, Shukracharya se sambandhit ek tirthasthan. तो उशनसः. देन मनोह, स्वयं भूव मनु से संबंधित होने वाला मनोह. देन पृथोह, पृथु महाराज से संबंधित. तो वैन्यस्य पृथोह. देन अग्नेः, अग्निदेव से संबंधित. देन असितस्य, देन वायु का वायो हो, वायुदेव से संबंधित. सभी तीर्थस्थान षष्ठी एक वचन में है. जैसे कल में बताया था साधु का साध हो तो वायु का वायु हो. देन सो तीर्थम, दिस इज द वर्ड विच हिंट्स द होली प्लेसेस. देन नेक्स्ट इज सुदासस्य. देन गवाम. देन गुहस्य एंड श्राद्ध देवस्य. सो दिस 11 holy places. सह विदुरः आशिषेवे आसेवितवान. He served all these 11 holy places, maybe by taking bath or cleaning or in whatever way. So by taking bath in these holy places, his mental disturbance previously, क्या शब्द आया था? अशोच, कौन सा शब्द था वो? अनुशोचन. तो मेंटल जो व्याधि है, it gets relieved or elevated just by serving the holy places. जो शोक था या मानसिक व्याधि थी, ये तीर्थ स्थानों की सेवा कर कर दूर हो सकती है. So coming to the tika for this sloka, I am taking only one tika, otherwise time management नहीं होगा. Just for additional, some of you have curiosity, therefore just 1 or 2 sentence वाला टीका. तो त्रितादिनाम एकादश तीर्थानि तत्तत् नामना प्रसिद्धानि आसेवितवान. तो त्रितादिनाम, त्रित इत्यादि एकादश तीर्थानि, उनके नाम तत्तत् नामना प्रसिद्धानि, अपने अपने नाम से प्रसिद्ध होने वाले उन तीर्थ क्षेत्रों को आसेवितवान. तो आशिषेव ये शब्द नहीं है, लेकिन उसका इक्विवेलेंट वर्ड डायरेक्टली दिया है उधर. ओके, सो नाउ विल हैव ब्रेक और वन मोर श्लोका देन ब्रेक. वन मोर श्लोका आई थिंक यू कैन टेक. श्लोका नंबर, ओके, इसका ट्रांसलेशन पढ़ना रह गया. On the bank of the river Saraswati, there were 11 places of pilgrimage, namely Trita, Ushana, Manu, Pruthu, Agni, Asita, Vayu, Sudasa, Go, Guha, Shraddha Deva. Vidur visited all of them and duly performed rituals. Anyani cheha dvijadeva devaihi कृतानि नानायतनानि विष्णुः प्रत्यङ्गमुख्याङ्कितमन्दिराणि यद्दर्शनात् कृष्णमनुस्मरन्ति. So anyani cha, other holy places also, iha, on this earth. Dvija devadevaihi krutani. So Dvija Deva, Brahmanas and the demigods, created by the Brahmanas and the demigods. Krutani nana ayatanani Vishnoho, or created by Lord Vishnu, or holy places related to Lord Vishnu. So what is the adjective for this nana ayatanani Vishnu? Pratyanga. So every anga and जैसे शंख जगरा गदा पद्म एंड मुख्य, ये चारों में से जो मुख्य है वो चक्र. तो प्रत्यंग मुख्य अंकित मंदिरानी. So Lord Vishnu's temples are famous by having chakra on the top, और जो गुंबद है और डोम है उसके टॉप पर. तो प्रत्यंग मुख्यांकित मंदिरानी यद दर्शनात्, केवल ये चक्र का दर्शन कर कर, यद दर्शनात् कृष्णम जनाः अनुस्मरन्ति. तो जनाः इज नॉट गिवन इन द श्लोका, बट इट इज टू बी अंडरस्टूड. तो इस श्लोक का तात्पर्य द्विज देवैहि जो शब्द आया है, तो वृषभिः देवैश्च एंड डेमिगॉड्स के लिए देवश्च, कृतानि और अंगम अंगम प्रति, हर एक अंग में, वर्तते इति प्रत्यंग प्रत्यंग या प्रति अंगानि आयुधानि, हर एक अंग में भगवान की जो चार भुजाएं उसमें आयुधानि तेषु मुख्यम, तो मुख्यांकितानि, चक्रम तीन अंकितानि, मूर्धनि, मूर्धनि मीन्स एट द टॉप. हमारे उच्चारण स्थान में भी जो पैलेट का अपर पोर्शन है, अपर जॉ का टॉप पार्ट, उसको मूर्धा कहा गया है. ट वर्ग उधर बोलते वक्त होता है. तो मूर्धनि हेम कुंभेशु, तो जो सोने का कलश है, हेम कुंभेशु चिन्हितानि मंदिरानि येषु तानि नाना विधानि विष्णोः आयतनानि क्षेत्रानि तीर्थानि च आशिषेवे. तो ये आशिष जो आसेवितवान उनकी सेवा किया, वो वर्ब एक्चुअली प्रीवियस श्लोक का है, बट इट ऑल्सो हैज कनेक्शन इन दिस. येषाम चक्रांकित मंदिरवताम दर्शनात् श्री कृष्ण स्मरणम भवति. तो चैतन्य महाप्रभु जस्ट बाय सीइंग द चक्रा फ्रॉम अठार नाला he fainted, and this sloka is written more than 4,500 years before. So Prabhupada writes मंदिरानी, ये वर्ड पिकअप करते प्रभुपाद. So इसका ट्रांसलेशन परपोर्ट पढ़कर then we'll stop. There were also many other temples, so अन्यानि च, of various forms of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Vishnu, established by great sages and demigods. These temples were marked with the chief emblems, so here plural, pratyanga, emblems of the Lord, and they reminded one always of the original personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna. Sangsha Prabhu, you can read. Mic दे दो उनको. इधर भी है, उधर भी है. हाँ.
Human society is divided into 4 social orders of life and 4 spiritual divisions, applying to each and every individual person. This system is called Varnashram Dharma and has already been discussed in many places in this great literature. The sages or persons who completely devoted themselves to the spiritual upliftment of the entire human society were known as Dvijadeva, the best amongst the twice born. The denizens of superior planets from the moon planet and upwards were known as Devas. Both the Dvijadevas and the Devas always established temples of Lord Vishnu in his various forms such as Govinda, Madhusudana, Narsimha, Madhava, Keshava, Narayana, Padmanabha, Parthasarthi, and many others. The Lord expands himself in innumerable forms, but all of them are non-different from one another. Lord Vishnu has 4 hands, and each hand holds a particular item, either a conch shell, wheel, club, or lotus flower. Of these 4 emblems, the chakra or wheel is the chief. Lord Krishna, being the original Vishnu form, has only one emblem, namely the wheel, and therefore he is sometimes called the Chakri. The Lord's chakra is the symbol of the power by which the Lord controls the whole manifestation. The tops of Vishnu temples are marked with the symbol of wheel so that people may have the chance to see the symbol from a very long distance and at once remember Lord Krishna. The purpose of building very high temples is to give people a chance to see them from a distant place. This system is carried on in India whenever a new temple is constructed, and it appears that it is coming down from a time before recorded history. The foolish propaganda by atheists that temples were constructed only in latter days is refuted here because Vidur visited these temples at least 5,000 years ago, and the temples of Vishnu were in existence long before Vidura visited them. The great sages and demigods never established statues of men or demigods, but they established temples of Vishnu for the benefit of common men to raise them to the platform of God consciousness.
So you can see in the translation, chakra word is not there. Noticed? These temples were marked with the chief emblems of the Lord, and they reminded one always of the original personality of Godhead. But in the purport, Prabhupada is adding these details, chakra and 4 emblems. So this is from Tika. Okay, 5 minutes break now. Hare Krishna. Thing I wanted to share that congregation devotees came exactly 5 minutes before our class, and when I also start late, then they will say, "अरे हम इतना घरेलू काम कर कर टाइम पर आ पाते, लेकिन ये ब्रह्मचारी इनको दूसरा कुछ है ही नहीं सेवा, लेकिन वो नहीं आ पाते." So not to respect me, but to respect them at least, whatever time you have committed. It is known to you many days before, so make sure that you are there on time. Hare Krishna. हरे कृष्ण। तो श्लोका नंबर 24। ततस्त्वति व्रज सुराष्ट्रम रुद्धम सौवीरमत्स्यान् कुरु जाङ्घलांश्च कालेन तावद् यमुनाम् उपेत्य तत्रोद्धवम् भागवतम् ददर्श। So tataha means thereafter. Ati vrajya. Tataha tu ati vrajya. So while traveling to various other places, so names of the places are mentioned. Surashtram, Acha Rashtra, and Vruddham, Samruddhashali, Ache Rashtra. Or example, Savvira Matsyan Kuru Jangha Lamscha. So 4 names are mentioned. Savvira Matsya, Kuru and Janghal. Kalena, in due course. Tavad, so as long as he was traveling, तो उनका जो प्रवास है वो तब तक चला। तावद यमुनाम उपेत्य, तो यमुना के तट पर आने तक, तावत तो वो आगे प्रवास करते रहे। तत्र, सो एट दैट प्लेस, भागवतम या भागवतम उद्धवम ददर्श, तो जब तक उनकी भेंट उद्धव से नहीं हुई तब तक वो चलते रहे और फिर उधर उन्होंने उद्धव जी को देखा। सो हियर समथिंग फ्रॉम टीका, श्लोका नंबर 24। अति व्रज्य अतिक्रम्य, तो आगे उनका वॉकिंग जारी रहा। यावत, तब तक जब तक उद्धव प्राप्त, तावत, यावत तावत, जब तक उद्धव मिले नहीं तब तक वो चलते रहे। तावत स्वयं अपि यमुनाम उपेत्य, तो खुद भी ऐसे करते करते यमुना के पास पहुंच गए, यानी कि अभी का हरिद्वार। तो यहाँ पर यमुना गंगा थोड़ा सा पहले कैंटो में भी आपने देखा था, परीक्षित महाराज वेंट ऑन द बैंक्स ऑफ गंगा, बट हस्तिनापुर के पास गंगा बहती नहीं, यमुना बहती है। दिल्ली के पास तो यमुना गंगा ये इंटरचेंजेबली यूज कर वर्ड्स होते हैं। यमुना उपेत्य, या मेरठ के पास शुकताल करके जगह है, तो उधर भी हो सकती है जगह, नहीं तो हरिद्वार, दोनों में से एक जगह है। तो with a proper translation for this sloka. Thereafter, he passed through very wealthy provinces like Surat. So, what is the word? Surashtram is Surat. Sauvir and Matsya, and through western India known as Kuru Jangal. At last he reached the bank of the Yamuna, where he happened to meet with Uddhav, the great devotee of Lord Krishna. Bhagavatam या Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam. Okay. Raghu Guru Babu. इधर और एक माइक है।
The tract of land comprising about 100 square miles from modern Delhi to the Mathura district in Uttar Pradesh, including a portion of the Gurgaon district in Punjab, East India, is considered to be the topmost place of pilgrimage in all of India. This land is sacred because Lord Krishna travelled through it many times. From the very beginning of his appearance, he was at Mathura in the house of his maternal uncle Kamsa, and he was reared by his foster father Maharaj Nanda at Vrindavan. There are still many devotees of the Lord lingering there in ecstasy in search of Krishna and his childhood associates, the gopis. It is not that such devotees meet Krishna face to face in that tract of land, but a devotee eagerly searching after Krishna is as good as his seeing him personally. How this is so cannot be explained. but it is factually realized by those who are pure devotees of the Lord. Philosophically, one can understand that Lord Krishna and his remembrance are on the absolute plane, and that the very idea of searching for him at Vrindavan in pure God consciousness gives more pleasure to the devotee than seeing him face to face. Such devotees of the Lord see him face to face at every moment. As confirmed in Brahma Samhita 5.38, Premanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santa Sadeva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yamsyama Sundaram Achintya Gunaswarupam Govindamadi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. Those who are in ecstasy of love with the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Shyama Sundara Krishna, see him always in their hearts due to love and devotional service rendered to the Lord. Both Vidur and Uddhav were such elevated devotees, and therefore they both came to the bank of the Yamuna and met each other.
So, two important sentences. It is not that such devotees meet Krishna face to face in that tract of land, but a devotee is eagerly searching after Krishna is as good as his seeing him personally. How this is so cannot be explained, but it is factually realized by those who are pure devotees of the Lord. So some things cannot be taught, they should be caught. This very catchy sentence in one of the Punyatras I heard from one devotee. In Krishna consciousness, many things should be caught rather than taught. So this example. And another sentence. God consciousness gives more pleasure to the devotee than seeing him face to face. One cannot understand that Lord Krishna and his remembrance are on the absolute plane, and that the very idea of searching for him at Vrindavan in pure God consciousness gives more pleasure to the devotee than seeing him face to face. So in first canto, one purport, devotees are overwhelmed with their attempt to search for absolute truth. So they are so much overwhelmed, so they are so busy that all other things are secondary for them. Very high platform, we become affected by secondary things, and our search for absolute truth goes in background. So these two sentences. Next sloka. Savasudevanucharam prashantam Brahaspatehe praktanayam pratitam Alingya gadham pranayena bhadram Swanam apruchad bhagavat prajanam. तो सह मीन्स कौन हो सकता है? यू कैन ट्राई टू गेस. सह मीन्स हाथ ऊपर करो. उद्धव बोलने वाले. हाँ, विदुर. तो सह गाढ़म या प्रणयेन गाढ़म आलिंग्य. तो कौन किसको एम्ब्रेस कर सकता है? आलिंग्य मीन्स एम्ब्रेस. उद्धव एम्ब्रेस करेंगे या विदुर जी एम्ब्रेस करेंगे? विदुर एम्ब्रेस करेंगे. तो बाय दैट लॉजिकल सो यू कैन गेस. एंड हियर बृहस्पति हे तनयम प्राक्तनयम. तो प्राक्तनयम मीन्स पहले बृहस्पति के शिष्य जो थे, प्रेजेंट टाइम में नहीं थे लेकिन पहले थे. प्रतीतम प्रख्यातम, बहुत फेमस डिसाइपल ऑफ बृहस्पति. देन वासुदेव अनुचरम, follower of Lord Krishna. Prashantam, very peaceful personality, Uddhavam. And so these are all words which are adjectives for Bhagavatam. Yeah, Bhagavatam, Uddhavam, Prashantam, Vasudevanucharam. So by that logic also you can guess that Saha refers to Vidur. So Saha pranayena gadham alingya आलिंगन किया, फर्स्ट एक्टिविटी, एंड देन अपृच्छद, तो उन्होंने पूछा, क्या पूछा? भगवत प्रजानाम स्वानाम भद्रम अपृच्छद। तो भगवान की प्रजा या यदु और स्वानाम स्वयं के भी या वेलविशर्स या रिलेटिव्स, यदु विदुर जी के भी रिलेटिव्स या वेलविशर्स थे, तो उनका मंगल या भद्रम अपृच्छद। तो अपृच्छद इज द प्राइमरी एक्ट, क्रियापद, आलिंग्य इज सेकेंडरी। तो ये कर ये किया, तो ऐसा आलिंग्य ये कर फिर पूछा। तो नाउ कमिंग टू टीका। सो ये प्रथमम तावद, नहीं ये नहीं, नेक्स्ट, सह विदुरः। तो श्लोका में जो शब्द आया है पहला सह यानी विदुरः, प्राक्तनयम, तो जो सेकंड लाइन में आया है बृहस्पति ही प्राक्तनयम प्रतीतम, तो प्राक्तनयम पूर्व शिष्यम नीति शास्त्री। तो बृहस्पति से उद्धव जी ने नीति शास्त्र सीखा। पाठांतरे, कुछ जगह पाठ भेद, तो इधर जो प्राक है तो उधर प हो जाता है आधा, और जो आगे का त है प्राप्त नयम प्रतीतम, तो प्राप्त नयम, तो इसका अर्थ बता रहे पाठांतरे प्राप्त नयो, तो नीति शास्त्र जिन्होंने प्राप्त किया, प्राप्त नयम नीति शास्त्रम येन तम, तो उद्धवम, प्रतीतम प्रख्यातम, स्वानाम ज्ञातिनाम, स्वयं के रिलेटिव्स के लिए ज्ञातिनाम, भद्रम अपृच्छत, तो उनका कुशल समाचार पूछा। तो ऐसे प्रश्न क्यों किया उन्होंने? भगवत प्रजानाम पोषमाणाम, तो बिकॉज ऑल दीज रिलेटिव्स वेर पर्सनली nourished and nurtured or raised by the Supreme Lord. Coming to Prabhupada's translation for this sloka. Then, due to his great love and feeling, so Gadham Pranayena, Vidur embraced him, Uddhav, who was a constant companion of Lord Krishna and formerly a great student of Brihaspati's. Vidur then asked him for news of the family of Lord Krishna, the personality of Godhead. Rishabhani Prabhu.
Vidura was older than Uddhava, like a father, and therefore, when the two met, Uddhava bowed down before Vidura, and Vidura embraced him because Uddhava was younger, like his son. Vidura's brother Pandu was Lord Krishna's uncle, and Uddhava was a cousin to Lord Krishna. According to social custom, therefore, Vidura was to be respected by Uddhava on the level of his father. Uddhava was a great scholar in logic, and he was known to be a son or a disciple of Brihaspati, the greatly learned priest and spiritual master of the demigods. Vidura asked Uddhava about the welfare of his relatives, although he already knew that they were no longer in the world. This inquiry appears to be very queer, but Srila Jiva Goswami states that the news was shocking to Vidura, who therefore inquired again due to great curiosity. Thus his inquiry was psychological and not practical.
So already when he reached Prabhas Kshetra, he already knew his relatives are dead in Hastinapur. But still, Swanam and Bhagavat Prajanam. तो इधर यदु और कौरव दोनों के बारे में पूछ रहे हैं. तो उसमें से एक का तो न्यूज़ उनको ऑलरेडी पता है, दूसरा अभी कंफर्म नहीं है या पता नहीं. So he apruchat. So he asked about the well-being. Bhadram apruchat. तो आगे के बहुत सारे श्लोक अलग अलग स्पेसिफिक लोगों के नाम लेकर हैं. नहीं, हाँ। सो उद्धव जी का एज दैट टाइम ऑल्सो 70 प्लस होगा. So many years before, now he is not taking lessons from him in that sense. Devatas, हाँ. I mean, he is asking where the Brihaspati came on earth. उद्धव हुए थे. वो मालूम नहीं, मुझे मालूम नहीं. बाद में एग्जैक्ट रेफरेंस देना उनको, मुझे भी बताओ. तो ही कुशलम या भद्रम अपृच्छत. कच्चित् पुराणो पुरुषो स्वनाभ्य पाद्मानुवृत्त्येह किलावतीर्णो आसात् उर्व्यः कुशलं विधाय आसात उर्व्यः कुशलं विधाय कृतक्षणो कुशलं शूरगेः. तो क्या पूछा, किसके बारे में पूछा भी? कच्चित यानी कि ऐसा प्रश्नवाचक शब्द है. क्या? पुराणो पुरुषो, तो ये रामो दो है ऐसे, तो ये कृष्ण और बलराम को दोनों को इकट्ठा एक ही श्लोक में पूछ रहे हैं उनके बारे में. पुराणो पुरुषो स्वनाभ्य, तो स्वयं के नाभि से उत्पन्न, स्वनाभ्य. और पाद्मानुवृत्त्या, तो पाद्म यानी कि ब्रह्मा जी, अनुवृत्त्या उनकी प्रार्थना के कारण, यह किल अवतीर्ण, किल मीन्स certainly Lord appeared because of the prayers of Brahma ji. Avatirno, तो here ऊर्व्याहा कुशलम विधाय, पृथ्वी का कुशल करने के लिए अवतीर्णो, यह अवतीर्णो. एंड लास्टली शूरगेहे, शूरसेन के ग्रह में कृतक्षणो, तो पृथ्वी का कुशल करने के बाद जरा कृतक्षणो यानी कि जरा उत्सव का वातावरण प्राप्त हुआ सबको. सो कृतक्षणो उसका मीनिंग टीका में भी आएगा. तो आसते, तो कच्चित कुशलम कैन बी टेकन फॉर उर्व्याम कुशलम विधाय, और या पुराणो पुरुषो कुशलम आसाति. तो ये आसाति जरा अनफेमिलियर वर्ब लग रहा है. तो एक वेबसाइट है अष्टाध्यायी.com, तो उधर से सर्च दिया कौन सा भी, आस धातु, तो आस यानी टू सिट, तो उसका ये लट लकार यानी वर्तमान काल में अभी पूछ रहे हैं क्या वो कुशल है. तो आस्ति, आसाति, आसति, तो ये आसाति, तो तृतीय पुरुष द्विवचन, तो पुरुषो, पुराणो, अवतीर्णो, तो दोनों है, इसलिए ये आसाते जरा अनयूजुअल वर्ड में आएगा या वर्ब में आएगा. हाँ, तो उधर है आसाते, लेकिन दिख रहा है आसते, आसत आसत ऐसा दिख रहा है, लेकिन वर्ड टू वर्ड में जाएंगे तो उधर आसाते है. कहाँ है? हियर आसाते. सो स्क्रूटिनाइजिंग स्टडी ऑल्सो इंक्लूड्स दिस. श्लोक में आसत है, इधर आसाते क्यों हो गया? तो इफ वी स्टडी लाइक दिस देन वी विल रियली स्टडिंग स्क्रिप्चर्स. अदरवाइज पढ़ना है, कंप्लीट करना है कोटा. ओके, इट्स एवरीवन्स चॉइस. सो गोइंग टू टीका, श्लोक नंबर 26. प्रथमम तावत राम कृष्णयोः कुशलम पृच्छति. पहले राम और कृष्ण इन दोनों के बारे में, उभयोः राम कृष्णयोः कुशलम पृच्छति. कच्चिद इति प्रश्ने, कच्चिद ये शब्द बहुत बार आएगा, तो उसका मीनिंग क्या है? प्रश्नार्थक ऐसा क्या. स्वनाभौ भवः स्वनाभ्य, स्वयं के नाभि से उद्भूत, तो इसलिए स्वनाभ्य। ये भी चतुर्थी द्विवचन है या पंचमी द्विवचन, उनसे स्वनाभ्य। पाद्मो ब्रह्मा तस्य अनुवृत्त्या, पाद्म अनुवृत्त्या, ये शब्द का विश्लेषण क्या है? पाद्मो यानी कि ब्रह्मा, तस्य अनुवृत्त्या, अनुवृत्त्या का मीनिंग क्या है? प्रार्थनया, प्रार्थना के कारण, इह अवतीर्णो कुशलम आसाते, आसाते का सिंपल मीनिंग वर्तति, क्या वो कुशल है? कृतक्षणों ये शब्द आया है, तो दत्त अवसरो, जरा समय दिया लोगों को जरा शांति से जीने का, नहीं तो हमेशा कुछ ना कुछ वॉर सिचुएशन, डिस्टर्बेंस। तो दत्त अवसरो सर्वेशाम, दत्त अवसर एक मीनिंग और फिर दूसरा मीनिंग कृतक्षणों का, सर्वेशाम कृतोत्सवो, कृत उत्सवो इति वा, या सबको जरा उत्सव मनाने के लिए एटमॉस्फियर क्रिएट किया उन्होंने। बिफोर दैट ऑल द टाइम फियर ऑफ कंसा और वेरियस अदर किंग्स। तयोहो नित्य कुशलत्वेपि उक्त विशेषण विशिष्टो शूरसेन से, ये तो भगवान है, ये तो कुशल होंगे ही, तो पूछने की क्या जरूरत है। बट शूरसेन से गृहे, तो शूरसेन से संबंधित है, इसलिए जरा ये द्वारका में वो है क्या नहीं। अदरवाइज इन स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड ही इज ऑलवेज कुशल, बट इन पर्टिकुलर इन हाउस ऑफ शूरसेन। कच्चित आसाति इति प्रश्न। सो प्रभुपाद's ट्रांसलेशन फॉर दिस, प्लीज टेल मी, अभी ये अपृच्छद शब्द पहले आ गया तो इसलिए ब्रैकेट में डाला है, प्लीज टेल मी whether the original personalities of Godhead, प्लूरल है, इंग्लिश में सिंगुलर एंड प्लूरल दो ही है लेकिन संस्कृत में द्विवचन है, who incarnated अवतीर्णो themselves at the request of Brahma, Brahmanuvritya, who is born out of the lotus flower from the Lord, and who have increased the prosperity of the world, Urvyam Kushalam Vidhaya, by elevating everyone, Krutakshano, are doing well in the house of Shurasen, question mark चाहिए इधर, are doing well in the house of Shurasen, question mark चाहिए. Okay, purport. Sudhamanath Prabhu.
Lord Krishna and Balram are not two different personalities of Godhead. God is one without a second, but He expands Himself in many forms without their being separate from one another. They are all plenary expansions. The immediate expansion of Lord Krishna is Baladev and Brahma, born from the lotus flower from Garbhodakshai Vishnu, is an expansion of Baladev. This indicates that Krishna and Baladev are not subjected to the regulations of the universe. On the contrary, the whole universe is under their subjugation. They appeared at the request of Brahma to liberate the burden of the world, and they relieved the world by many superhuman activities so that everyone became happy and prosperous. Without the grace of the Lord, no one can become happy and prosperous. Because the happiness of the family of the Lord's devotees depends on the happiness of the Lord, Vidura first of all inquired about the well-being of the Lord.
The first sentence, Lord Krishna and Balram are not two different personalities of Godhead. Many times we heard in the classes, but here authentically Prabhupada's statement. And last, before inquiring about other family members, Swanam and Bhagavat Prajanam, he is asking well-being of two lords. If they are well in Shuragrehe, then others also will be very kushal. Kachit Gurunam Paramaha Suhanno Bhamaha Sa Aste Sukham Anga Shaurihi यो वै स्वश्रूणां पितृवद्ददाति वरान् वदान्यो वरतर्पणेन। तो यहाँ पर अंग, माय डियर उद्धव, सो इन दैट सेंस अंग, तो कच्चित शौरिहि सुखम आस्ते, इज शॉर्ट सेंटेंस। क्या शौरिहि मीन्स यहाँ पर वसुदेव, एंड हिज एडजेक्टिव्स आर परमः सुहृन्नः, हमारे परम सुहृद या परम हितैषी। तो विदुर जी बोल रहे हैं वसुदेव जी हमारे परम सुहृद हैं। और उनके लिए और एक विशेषण क्या है, भामह, भामह यानी कि पूज्य एक अर्थ, और भगिनी भ्राता, भर्ता, तो बहन का, बहन के पति। तो यहाँ पर अभी टीका में आएगा उसका अर्थ। तो ये दो अर्थ, पूज्य है और बहन के पति। सुखम आस्ते, तो सह भामह परम सुहृदः शौरिहि सुखम आस्ते। और उनके बारे में थोड़ा विश्लेषण, यह, इधर भी विसर्ग का ओ हो गया है, यह वह, वो सचमुच ही वदान्य, बहुत उदार है। कौन? वसुदेव बहुत उदार है। और वो क्या कर रहे हैं, वर तर्पणेन, वर यानी कि उनके पतियों के साथ, स्वश्रु नाम, स्वयं की बहनों को, यानी कि वसुदेव जी अपने स्वयं की बहनों को, वरान, वरान वदान्य, तो बहुत सारे वर या बहुत सारे गहने, बहुत सारे गिफ्ट्स देकर, पितृवत ददाती, तो अपने बहनों को पिता की जैसे ही बहुत सारे गिफ्ट्स को देकर वो उनका पालन कर रहे हैं। सो इन द टीका, श्लोका नंबर 27, यदूनाम कुशलम पृच्छति कच्चित इति नवभि। तो ये श्लोक से स्टार्ट होकर आके 9 श्लोक यदुओं के कुशल के बारे में पूछ रहे हैं। तो भामह पूज्य शौरिहि वसुदेव, एक अर्थ। दूसरा यद्वा भामह भगिनी भर्ता, तो कुंती वसुदेवस्य भगिनी, तो जो पांडवों की मां कुंती वो वसुदेव की बहन, तो इसलिए अतः देवकी पांडवो भगिनी इति लोक व्यवहार, तो इसलिए वसुदेव की जो पत्नी है वो पांडवों की, यानी कि पांडु, विदुर और धृतराष्ट्र, इनकी भी बहन हो गई हो। तो ये वसुदेव क्या कर रहे हैं, कुंती की तरफ ध्यान देकर, कुंती और उनके पति या अभी उनके पुत्र, तो इनको बहुत सारे गिफ्ट देकर उनको पितृवत वरान ददाती। तो वरान क्या है, अर्थान, बहुत सारे गिफ्ट्स। वदान्यः अति उदारः, अत्युदारः। वराणाम तत्पतीनाम तर्पणेन, तो वर तर्पणेन जो शब्द है, तो उसका अर्थ वरानाम यानी कि तत्पति नाम, उनके पतियों को, हस्बैंड्स को, तर्पणेन संतर्पणेन यानी उनके साथ बहुत सारे गिफ्ट्स देकर पिता जैसे उनका पालन तो कर रहे हैं ना, या करने वाले, वो तो कुशल में है ना। प्लीज टेल मी whether the best friend of the Kurus, so Nah Paramah Suhruda, our brother-in-law Vasudev is doing well. He is very munificent. He is like a father to his sisters and he is always pleasing to his relatives. तो प्रभुपाद ये जो भामह शब्द है वो एक्सप्लेन करेंगे परपोर्ट में। So I will read the purport, or someone wants to read?
Lord Krishna's father Vasudeva had 16 wives, and one of them named Pauravi or Rohini, the mother of Baldev, was the sister of Vidura. Vasudeva therefore was the husband of Vidura's sisters, and thus they were brother-in-law. Vasudeva's sister Kunti
was the wife of Pandu, Vidura's elder brother, and in that sense also Vasudeva was brother-in-law to Vidura. Kunti was younger than Vasudeva, and it was the duty of the elder brother to treat younger sister as daughters. Whenever anything was needed by Kunti, it was munificently delivered by Vasudeva due to his great love for his younger sister. Vasudeva never dissatisfied his wives, and at the same time he supplied the objects desired by his sister. He had special attention for Kunti because she became a widow at an early age. While inquiring about Vasudeva's welfare, Vidura remembered all about him and the family relationship.
So here you understood one sentence. Vasudeva never dissatisfied his wives, 16 wives, and at the same time he supplied the objects desired by his sister. The आजकल बहुत टफ है ये. So Mr. devotees can relate it more. And another important detail, Vidura's sister Rohini was Vasudeva's wife. लोक व्यवहार, हाँ. हाँ, कॉमन फादर नहीं थे. इज नॉट रियल ब्रदर सिस्टर रिलेशन. इवन कुंती एंड वसुदेव वो एक ही फादर के नहीं थे. एक कुंती भोज की डॉटर थी और वो वसुदेव के पिताजी शूरसेन थे. शूरसेन और कुंती भोज ये कुछ कजिन होंगे, तो उनका हाँ एडॉप्ट किया. हाँ हाँ, लोक व्यवहार. So although he is himself in a miserable condition, Vidur, but he is inquiring about each and every person's detail. So in Mahabharata also it is mentioned, whenever some messenger used to come to meet Yudhishthira Maharaj, so along with what message he got, he also used to ask about the welfare of other personalities whom he knew. So वो बताने में बहुत समय जाता होगा. जल्दी खत्म करो, मेन बात बताओ. Not like that, very personal. So sometimes people may say, अरे ये प्रचल्प कर रहा है, बहुत लोगों के बारे में वेलफेयर पूछ रहा है. But in the Shastras it is not like that. So actually having concern and then inquiring is one thing, and zooming on only negative things, then it becomes prajalpa. In general, asking about well-being is culture. Next. Kachid varuthadhipatir yadunam pradyumna aste sukhamangaviraha yam rukmini bhagavato bhilebhe yam rukmini bhagavato bhilebhe आराध्य विप्रान स्मरम आदि सर्गे. तो यहाँ पर प्रद्युम्न के बारे में पूछ रहे हैं. कच्चित, यहाँ अंग अगेन, ओ माय डियर उद्धव, वीर प्रद्युम्न सुखम कच्चित आस्ते, क्या वीर प्रद्युम्न सुख में है, कुशल है? तो उसकी विशेषण क्या है? वरुथाधिपति यदु नाम. तो यदु नाम वरुथाधिपति, तो यदुओं के विशेष सेनापति या सेनानी वरुथाधिपति ही. और जिसको प्रद्युम्न, जो पहले वर्णन किया, वीर प्रद्युम्न, तो उसके लिए यम, जिसको रुक्मिणी ही अभिलेभे, रुक्मिणी ने प्राप्त किया. तो रुक्मिणी ने कैसे प्राप्त किया? विप्रान आराध्य, तो ब्राह्मणों की सेवा कर कर, पूजा कर कर, यम स्मरम, स्मरम यानी कि ये पहले कामदेव थे। आदि सर्गे, पूर्व सर्ग में कामदेव, इनको ब्राह्मणों की आराधना कर कर भगवान से भगवतः अभिलेखे। कौन? रुक्मिणी। तो जरा टीका से देखते इसका अर्थ। श्लोक नंबर 28, तो थोड़ा आगे ये वरुथाधिपति ही, उसका मीनिंग सेना नहीं। आदि सर्गे, आखिरी वर्ड इन द श्लोक है, पूर्व जन्मनि स्मरम कामम संतम, कामम संतम जो कामदेव थे, अभिलेभे प्राप्त किया, तो पुत्रम लब्धवती, पुत्र के रूप में कामदेव को उन्होंने प्राप्त किया। तो नाउ प्रभुपाद's translation. O Uddhav, Anga, how is Pradyumna, the commander-in-chief of the Yaduts, Yadunam Varuthadhipati, who was Cupid in a former life? Adi Sarge Smaram. Rukmini bore him as her son from Lord Krishna by the grace of Brahmanas whom she pleased. Vipran Aradhya. So according to Srila Jiva Goswami, Smara, Cupid or Kamdev, is one of the eternal associates of Lord Krishna. Jiva Goswami has explained this very elaborately in his treatise Krishna Sandarbha. Next sloka. Kachid sukham satvata vrishni bhoja दाशार्ह काणाम अधिपः स आस्ते यम अभ्यसिंचत शतपत्र नेत्रो नृपासनाशाम परिहृत्य दूरात्। तो यहाँ पर एक बड़ा शब्द है, सात्वत वृष्णि भोज दाशार्ह काणाम अधिपः। तो ये यदु वंश के ही ब्रांचेस है ये, सात्वत वृष्णि भोज दाशार्ह, और उनकी काणाम अधिपः, अधिपः मीन्स राजा। तो ये किसके बारे में है? उग्रसेन। तो ये सभी डायनेस्टीज के अधिपः राजा, सह, सह और ये पूरा बड़ा शब्द सुखम कच्चिद आस्ते, क्या वो सुख में है? तो उनके बारे में विशेषण क्या है? अगेन यम, जो नृपासन आशाम, नृप के आसन के ऊपर बैठने की योग्यता या आशा, होप्स, होप्स ऑफ बिकमिंग और सिटिंग ऑन द थ्रोन ऑफ अ किंग। तो दैट आशाम दूरात परिहृत्य means he did not expect to become the king after Kamsa was killed. So Ugrasena's son Kamsa was killed by Krishna, but still Ugrasen Maharaj or Ugrasen did not want to become the next king. But Shatapatra Netraha Yam Abhishincha. So Shatapatra Netra, Lord Krishna's name, he did Abhishek or Rajyabhishek of Ugrasen to become the next king in Mathura. तो इसका थोड़ा सा टीका, सात्वता दीनाम अधिपः। तो जो बड़ा शब्द है उसमें से पहला शब्द लिया है, सात्वत आदिनाम अधिपः उग्रसेनः, और शतपत्र नेत्रः श्री कृष्णः। तो उन्होंने नृपासन आशाम राज्य अभिलाषम परिहृत्य त्याग कर प्राण भयेन दूरात स्थितम, क्योंकि अभी कंस के जो मित्र हैं वो अटैक करेंगे और मुझे मारेंगे, ये भय उग्रसेन महाराज को था। तो ऐसी परिस्थिति में लॉर्ड कृष्णा मेड हिम द नेक्स्ट किंग। तो प्रभुपाद's translation of this shloka. O my friend, tell me whether Ugrasen, the king of the Satvatas, Vrishnis, Bhojas and Dasharhas, is now doing well. He went far away from his kingdom, leaving aside all hopes of his royal throne, but Lord Krishna again installed him. Kachid harehe saumya sutah sadruksha आस्ते ग्रणी रथिनाम साधु सांबः असूतयं जाम्बवती व्रताढ्या देवं गुहं यो अंबिकया धृतोग्रे। तो यहाँ पर सांब के बारे में पूछ रहे हैं। सांब कौन थे? जाम्बवती के पुत्र थे। तो हे सौम्य, पहले अंग शब्द इस्तेमाल कर रहे थे, तो अभी उद्धव जी को एड्रेस करते हुए हे सौम्य या जेंटलमैन, हे सौम्य। तो सदृश सुतः, स्वयं जैसा ही होने वाला पुत्र, सांब और रथी नाम अग्रणी, तो जो चैरियट चलाने वाले जो थे ये योद्धा, तो उसमें एकदम अग्रणी, लीडर ऑफ ऑल द चैरियट वॉरियर्स और फाइटर्स। तो साधु आस्ते, पहले भद्रम कुशलम सुखम, तो यहाँ पर अभी साधु मीन्स वो अच्छे हैं ना। और जिसको वापस ये यम जाम्बवती असूत, जिसको जाम्बवती ने जन्म दिया, तो किसके द्वारा? व्रताढ़्या, जाम्बवती ने भी व्रत किए। और किसको प्राप्त किया? तो अग्रे, शुरुआत में जो क्या थे? देवम गुहम। तो देवम यानी कि यहाँ पर डेमिगॉड, और गुहम यानी कि कार्तिकेय। तो अंबिकया धृतः, तो अंबिकया धृत, यहाँ पर जरा अंबिका के बारे में। पार्वती, तो पार्वती ने जिसको धारण किया था, उसको जाम्बवती ने प्राप्त किया एज अ सन। तो बाय हर, तो ऑल द डेमिगॉड्स वेर ऑर्डर टू टेक बर्थ इन यदु डायनेस्टी। तो इसके यहाँ पर रेफरेंसेस मिलते हैं, कौन सा डेमिगॉड क्या था। तो टीका से थोड़ा सा, श्लोक नंबर 30। हे सौम्य, ये संबोधन है। हरे हे सुतः तेन सदृशः, सदृक्ष उदराया है, सदृशः भगवान जैसा ही उनका पुत्र। साधु मीन्स सुखम आस्ते, तो गृहम या गुहम, गुहम यानी कि स्वामी, स्वामी कार्तिकेयम अग्रे पूर्व जन्मनि, यह पहले जन्म में जो स्वामी कार्तिकेय थे, यह भवान्यः गर्भे, भवानी या अंबिकया उनके गर्भ में थे, तो वही अभी सांब बनकर आए। So translation for this: O gentle one, doth Samb fare well? He exactly resembles his father, the personality of Godhead. In a previous birth, he was born as Kartikeya in the womb of the wife of Lord Shiva. And now he has been born in the womb of Jambavati, the most enriched wife of Krishna. तो व्रताढ़्या का मीनिंग डबल लिया है, enriched wife of Krishna, or the one who performed lot of tapasya. Lord Shiva, one of the three qualitative incarnations of the personality of Godhead, is a plenary expansion of the Lord. Kartikeya, born of him, is on the level of Pradyumna, another son of Lord Krishna. When Lord Sri Krishna descends into the material world, all his plenary portions also appear with him to exhibit different functions of the Lord. Except for the pastimes at Vrindavan, all functions are performed by the Lord's different plenary expansions. Vasudev is a plenary expansion of Narayan. When the Lord appeared as Vasudev before Devaki and Vasudev, he appeared in his capacity as Narayan. Similarly, all the demigods of the heavenly kingdom appeared as associates of the Lord in the forms of Pradyumna, Samba, Uddhava, etc. It is learned here that Kamadev appeared as Pradyumna. पहले श्लोक में परपोर्ट नहीं दिया था, तो इधर कवर कर रहे प्रभुपाद. Kartikeya as Samba and one of the Vasus as Uddhava. All of them served in their different capacities in order to enrich the pastimes of Krishna. हाँ. Eight Vasus are mentioned, but what is their function or where they reside? In the detail, I also don't know. Hmm.
So one Vasu was removed, and that came as Vishnu.
Hmm.
And that one of the seven Vasus then again comes to Uddhava.
Ah, it appears like that only.
There, that is called Reta, and that Vasus are different.
I think they come. Kshemam sakachid yuyudhan aste यह फाल्गुनात् लब्ध धनु रहस्य लेभे अंजसाधोक्षज सेवयैव लेभे अंजसाधोक्षज सेवयैव गतिम तदीयाम यतिभिर्दुरापाम. तो यहाँ पर सह फाल्गुन लब्ध धनु रहस्य और यह स्मॉल सेंटेंस यह सह युयुधान क्षेमम कच्चिद आस्ति. पहले लाइन में एक सेंटेंस बना सकते हैं. तो युयुधान मीन सात्यकी. क्या सात्यकी भी क्षेमम सुखम या भद्रम आस्ति, क्या वो भी कुशल है? और उनकी विशेषता क्या है? वो सह और यह ऐसे पेयर में आते जनरली शब्द. तो जो फाल्गुनात यानी कि अर्जुनात लब्ध धनु रहस्य, तो ये सात्विकी ने अर्जुन से धनुर्विद्या सीखी थी. और फिर इन्होंने क्या किया? यह लेभे जिन्होंने प्राप्त किया. तो किसको प्राप्त किया? अधोक्षज, तो भगवान को उन्होंने प्राप्त किया. तो कैसे? सेवया एव, सेवयैव जो शब्द है, तो केवल सेवा के द्वारा. तो सात्विकी भगवान का रथ चलाते थे. यस. तो भगवान की इस प्रकार से सेवा कर कर ही अंजसा एव, तो एव शब्द अंजसा के साथ लेंगे. केवल सेवा कर कर ही आसानी से भगवान को उन्होंने प्राप्त किया. तो भगवान को प्राप्त करना ये कैसा है? यति भी दुरापाम तदीयाम गतिम. तो जो यति यानी कि बहुत रिनाउंस्ड पर्सनालिटीज को पाना जो बहुत दुर्लभ है, दुरापाम तदीयाम गतिम. तो तदीयाम यानी कि भगवान का क्लोज एसोसिएट बनने की जो गति है, ये यतियों के भी पाना बहुत दुर्लभ है. ऐसी गति को सात्विकी ने केवल सेवा के द्वारा आसानी से प्राप्त किया. सो कमिंग टू द टीका फॉर दिस श्लोका. युयुधान सात्विकी ही क्षेमम कुशलम आस्ति. तो फाल्गुनात् अर्जुनात् लब्धम धनुषो रहस्यम येन तदीयाम अधोक्षज संबंधिनी. तो तदीयाम जो शब्द है उसका मीनिंग क्या है? भगवान से संबंधित गति. तो अभी प्रभुपाद का ट्रांसलेशन. O Uddhav, does Yuyudhan fare well? He learned the intricacies of the military art from Arjun and attained the transcendental destination which is very difficult to reach even for great renouncers. यतियों को डिफिकल्ट गति इन्होंने प्राप्त की है. तो वेरी नाइस कॉम्बिनेशन ऑफ वर्ड्स. यति भी गतिम या यति भी दुरापाम गतिम. So I'll read the translation purport quickly and then we'll stop. The destination of the transcendence is to become the personal associate of the personality of Godhead, who is known as Adhokshaja, he who is beyond the reach of the senses. The renouncers of the world, the sannyasis, give up all worldly connections, namely family, wife, children, friends, home, wealth, everything to attain the transcendental bliss of Brahman happiness. But Adhokshaja happiness is beyond Brahman happiness. The empiric philosophers enjoy a transcendental quality of bliss by philosophical speculation on the supreme truth, but beyond that pleasure is the pleasure enjoyed by Brahman in his eternal form of the personality of Godhead. Brahman bliss is enjoyed by living entities after liberation from material bondage. But Para-Brahman, the personality of Godhead, enjoys eternally a bliss of his own potency, which is called the Hladini potency. The empiric philosopher who studies Brahman by negation of the external features has not yet learned the quality of the Hladini potency of Brahman. So na iti तो उसको रेफर करते हैं. Studies Brahman by negation of the external features. भौतिक दुनिया में ये नहीं ना iti. But out of many potencies of the omnipotent, there are three features of his internal potency, namely Samvit, Sandhini and Hladini. And in spite of their strict adherence to the principles of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Dhyana, Dharana and Pranayam, the great yogis and jnanis are unable to enter into the internal potency of the Lord. This internal potency is, however, easily realized by the devotees of the Lord by dint of devotional service. Yuyudhan achieved this sevaya eva adhokshaja lebhe, just as he achieved expert knowledge in military science from Arjun. Thus his life was successful to the fullest extent from both the material and spiritual angles of vision. That is the way of devotional service to the Lord. Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.